Hey, welcome to Fast Movie. Today, this movie talks about a father who kicked her daughter out of the house, so she turns into an expert in carrying out assassinations without leaving any traces. Our movie starts with a girl named Ava, and she was on her way to Paris airport to receive Peter, the financial advisor, to the International Monetary Fund. Ava is a hired killer who works for an organization called Simon. Her job is to kill important people in exchange for money. Ava is considered one of the best hired killers in her organization because she has participated in 14 missions, and she has completed all of them successfully, even though she has joined the organization 8 years ago. At this moment, Ava arrived at the airport to pick up Peter so she can drive him to the conference. And on the way to the conference, Ava tries to tempt him so he can stop the car and tell her to sit beside him. And eventually, he starts flirting with her and asks her to stop the car and come back to sit with him. Ava does go to the back seat to sit with him, and he started trying to get closer to her. But she told him to wait and ask him why does he look more handsome in reality. And he gets surprised from this question and asks her where did she see him before. But she ignores this question and asks him, what did he do that would make someone want to kill him? And he again gets surprised by the question and gets scared when he sees the gun in her hand. But he thought that she was just making a joke, and he asks her if this is a joke from his manager at work. And he picks up his phone to call him, and she proceeds to fire a bullet at his phone in his hand and asks him again what he did wrong for someone to want to kill him, because she likes to know what her victims did wrong before killing them. So he tried to beg her not to kill him, and he tried to tempt her with money and promised to give her a lot of it. And he tries to attack her and take the gun from her, so Ava killed him directly. Then her boss Duke called her, who she considers her godfather, and he is talking with her to verify if the mission is complete. And he asked her if she wants to talk about anything else because her voice is shaky, but she refused to talk about anything. And she asked him for a vacation so she can go to Boston and see her family, because she didn't see her family for 8 years. And he accepts her request and tells her after she finishes her vacation in Boston that she has to go to Riyadh for a mission. So Ava goes to the airport and did take her plan to Boston. And when she arrives, she stays in a hotel, and while she is in her room, someone knocks on the door. And when she opens the door, she sees that hotel employee with a package for her. And when she takes it from him and opens it, she finds the gun and some money. That duped her for the mission in Riyadh, and she tries the gun and the money. Then she goes to the fridge to get some drinks, but she found the fridge full of alcohol. She has been sober for so long, so she stopped herself from drinking and left the fridge. She changed her clothes so she can go out and attend a party. And the group singing at this party is her sister Jude's group. So she waits until the party is over so she can talk to her sister. So they walk together to the house, and on their way, she asked her about her life when she left the house 8 years ago. So Jude tells her that she is in a relationship with Michael, and right now they're living together, and told her that her being here right now is dangerous for her relationship with Michael because he is her ex-boyfriend, and also Ava has abandoned her and her mother when she decided to leave the house. The next day, Ava goes with her sister to the hospital to visit their mother and check upon her. Her mother says that she has been really sick for some time, and she believes Ava because she has been absent, and she asked Jude to take her for a walk in the park. So they all go outside to walk in the park, and they started talking about Ava's father. So her mother said that he was always impulsive like her, and also he knows how to play with words like her, and that's why he had a lot of relationships with women. And her mother asked her about her job after she finished her service in the army. And Ava avoids the question and gets up to leave, but her mother stopped her and asks her when she sees Michael not to think about her feelings because he is in a relationship with her sister now. And Ava ignores her words completely and leaves. And now Ava is on her way to Riyadh to do her mission. And her mission is to kill General Solomon. And he is a British general that is so famous all over the world because he works at smuggling weapons. And because of that, he had relationships with a lot of important people in countries all over the world. And at this time, he was hosted by the British consul in Riyadh. And this is her chance to kill him. but it has to look like he died naturally, so nobody can go after them. So Ava arrived at Riyadh, and she gets to know the general by telling him that she is an old family friend and that they grew up together, and her name is Porter. And Solomon started to like her, so she decided that she's going to stay with him while he is in Riyadh. And he asks her to go upstairs with him to his room, and she agreed to that. And before they can take the elevator, he asks his assistants to leave them alone. And Ava started to drag him to sleep with her, and while he's enjoying it, she injects him in his foot and tells him that he's going to die in less than 15 minutes. And she wishes he could tell her what wrongs he did to people to want to get rid of him. And while she's talking to him, his bodyguard barges in. So Ava takes a knife, kills him, and throws the knife on the bodyguard that barged in. And she attacks the second bodyguard and takes the gun from him. And she knows from him that she pronounces Solomon's name wrong. And now she understood that the organization gave her the wrong information, so the bodyguard can kill her. That's why she has to leave before she gets killed. So she kills the bodyguard, and then others do barge in. So she killed them before she can leave. The third one, however, tried to kill him, and she succeeded, but the numbers kept increasing. So she goes outside and make it look like she's going to faint, and calls out for the guards so they can help her, and asks them to save the general, and one of the bodyguards takes her outside. And while he is helping her, she took one of his smoke bombs, and she asked him if she can sit on a chair so she can rest. The bodyguard put her in a chair and left. So Ava proceeded to go through the smoke bomb and tried to run away. After that, she traveled to France to meet Duke and asked him about the wrong information she had received. And she told him that she received the wrong name for the general. He tells her that this is a printing error and it was not intentional, and that the board knows it's not her fault. And if they want to get rid of her, they can just kick her out instead of giving her the wrong information. And he tells her that the organization discussed the matter of killing her, but he refused. And he rest assured her that this was not intentional and that nobody holds her accountable for it. And he also tells her that her father is dead and now she can go back and live with her mother again. And he advises her to stay with them for some time so she can cool down, and she tells him that she will take a vacation to go back to Boston, but she will come back again to work. So Ava leaves him and goes back. And after that, Duke decided to go to Simon because he is the reason for this mistake that was gonna be the reason for Ava's death. So he goes to his house. And there, Simon welcomes him with his oldest daughter, who he considered his assistant and right hand. So Duke told him that he knows that he is the reason for the mistake, and he assured him that Ava is one of the best employees in the organization, and he considers her as his daughter. And he warned him that if he tried to kill her, he has to kill him first, and he proceeded to leave. Afterwards, Simon starts talking with his daughter, and he tells her that he has to find a way to kill Ava, but without making Duke angry. And he needs to kill her as fast as he can because she has broken the protocol, and she always talks with the targets before killing them, which creates a huge threat to their organization. At the same time, Ava is now back at Boston, and she goes to the hospital to visit her mom. While she is there, she sees Michael talking to the doctor. So she tries to leave before he can see her, but Michael calls her and greets her because he didn't see her for years. And he was surprised that she is in Boston. And Ava told him that she knows he is with her sister now, and them talking will upset Jude. At this moment, Jude heard them, so she comes outside and tells Ava that she has to call them before just appearing like that. Ava was surprised by her words and tells her that she is just here to check on her mom. And she goes inside to her mom, and her mom tells her that she feels that she is going to die soon. So she asked Ava if she can stay with Jude and Michael and go out together, so she knows that their relationship between them is still good. Ava tries to avoid the question and gets up and tries to fix the TV wire. And while doing that without Michael noticing, she started leaning on him, and it's completely obvious that Ava is still annoyed about their relationship. However, Ava goes back to her psychiatrist, and to get better, she has to attend group therapy. So she started to tell her story about how she was living a normal life with her mother and father, and she discovered that her father was having an affair with another woman. So she decided to face him and tell him that if he didn't tell the truth, she would go and tell her mother about his affair. And her father agreed that he is going to go and tell her mother that she asked him for $1,000 so she can spend it on drugs, but he refused. But she started threatening him, and she's going to say that he is having an affair with another woman, and her mother will believe because at that time, Ava was taking drugs and she used to steal money from the house until her father kicked her out. So Ava decided that she's going to join the military. So Ava finishes her story and goes back to her room in the hotel so she can change her clothes and go on her run. At the same time, Simon calls someone in Boston so he can follow Ava and kill her. So this person goes to the hotel that Ava stays at. So he is waiting for her downstairs so she can do her exercise and he can follow her and kill her. While Ava is exercising, she noticed that someone is following her. So she ran faster and he keeps following her until she arrived at the mountain. So she tried to kill him. While they were attacking each other, he took a knife from his pocket and tried to stab her, but she starts hitting him until he fell on the floor. And she runs away quickly and hides before he can get his gun again and go to look for her again. She comes out of her hiding and stabs him. So she threw him in the fountain and she cleans the blood on her face. After that, she goes to travel to meet Duke. And when she meets him, she asked him if he was behind the man who tried to kill her, and that he was an ex-French Secret Service agent, and he got fired because he took drugs, and his attack on Ava had nothing to do with them getting rid of her. They would have done that a long time ago, but Ava is not convinced by Duke's words, and if they want to kill her, he can tell her. So Duke tells her that he knows that she doesn't trust anybody, but he's not anybody. And he treats her like his daughter, and he puts his hands on her shoulder, and he offers his help. But Ava refuses and tells him that she will take care of herself, and she gives him the gun of the person who attacked her. After that, she goes to Boston again, so she can get ready to go out with Michael and Jude. And then, when she goes to the restaurant, she hears Michael and Jude talking, but she cannot concentrate on what they're saying, and she cannot wait for the date to be over so she can go home. And the only reason she goes out with them was to please her mother. So she went out of her thoughts when Jude took the alcohol cup in front of her, and she tells the waiter that she doesn't drink anymore. But Ava tells them that she cannot stay with them anymore because this meeting brings back a lot of old memories. And by that, she means her relationship with Michael. So Jude gets mad, so she gets up from the table and leaves. So Michael tells Ava that she cannot solve all the problems she made before, like their relationship. And the day passes, and Ava goes back to her room to sleep. But she suddenly wakes up from someone knocking on the door. She got her gun quickly because she thinks that someone is attacking her. Then she realizes that it's Jude, so she hides her gun and goes to open the door for her. Jude goes inside her room and tells her that she came here because Michael hasn't come back since yesterday. And Jude thought that Michael is here with Ava. So Ava tells her that she didn't see Michael since the restaurant. So Jude told her that he might be at one of the casinos that he goes to. And Ava told her that she might know the place that he is in. And she promised her that she will go and look for him. After that, Ava goes to a casino that she used to visit with Michael when they were together. And she goes there and the bodyguard allows her to go in. And she meets Tony, the owner of the casino, and she started to provoke Ava because Ava used to work with her before her father kicked her out. And also, she got in a relationship with Michael after she convinced him to break up with Tony. And Ava ignores her and asks Michael to go with her, but Tony stops them and asks her man to attack Ava. But she beats them easily, and she gets hold of Tony and tells Michael to check their exit. And when she is near the entrance, she leaves Tony. And she asked her how much does Michael owe them, and she told her that it was $75,000. Ava tells her that she will pay the money back in 36 hours, and then she leaves her and goes. And on her way back, Michael asked her where did she learn how to fight like that. She told him that she trained in the police and that she was rehabbing from her addiction. But he doesn't believe her and tells her she doesn't need to give Tony back the money and that he will find a way, and that if he couldn't give her back the money, he will just kill her. And Ava tells him that he cannot do that because he can get arrested. And she puts her hand on his face, but he pushes her away and tells her that he is in a relationship with her sister and what she is doing is not correct. And that he had asked her 8 years ago to marry him, and she said yes, but then she disappeared, and at this moment, he asked her sister for marriage. And she already agreed, so there cannot be anything between them. So he leaves her and goes. And Ava started to break down, and she goes back to her hotel, and she ordered some alcohol, but she didn't drink it, and she leaves it and goes upstairs. The next day, she goes to visit her mother's house because her mother is out of the hospital since she got better. Ava asked her to play some cards, and her mom asked her about her work. But Ava ignored the question, so her mom started to tell her about her father, and that before marriage, she saw the bad parts about her father, but she ignored it because she wanted to enjoy his good parts. And she tells her that she knows that her father used to lie about her threatening him, and she knows that he did an affair with another woman. But she decided to believe him because she was afraid that he will leave her and she will be lonely. So she apologizes to Ava because she sacrificed her so she can be happy. At the same time, Duke went to visit Simon at his house and tells him that he knows that the person who attacked Ava was sent by Simon. And he told them that he has to cancel the order of killing Ava or he will kill him. And he gets the gun out to threaten him, but his oldest daughter already had a gun pointed at his head, and she takes the gun from him. And suddenly, Simon's youngest daughter appears, and she runs on Duke to hug him. So her sister hides the gun quickly, and the young girl keeps playing with Duke, who is considered as her grandfather. Simon asked his young daughter to go back again to the house, so he can finish his talk with Duke. And the moment the girls leave, Simon's oldest daughter gets out the gun again. Duke hits her, and she fell on the floor. But at this moment, Simon attacks him and keeps hitting him until he fell on the floor. But he gathers all his strength, and he pushes Simon away and stands up again. But because of his old age, he can't stop Simon's attack. After that, Duke holds the gun, and he killed 2 of Simon's guards before they could attack him. And at the same time, Simon held a knife and started to attack him. And, indeed, he was able to stab him several times. After that, Duke fell on the floor, so Simon ties him and brings him to the lake. He took a picture of him before he threw him in the lake. And at the night Simon calls Ava, he warns her that he is going to kill her. And he also tells her that Duke failed because he sacrificed himself for her. So she breaks down because of Duke's death, as she considers him as her father. And at this time, she goes to Michael to calm her down. So she knocks on Michael's door, and she asks him about Jude, and he tells her that she's in a party and she's not home. So Ava tries to get closer to him and asks him to run away with her. But Michael refuses and says to her that Jude is pregnant and he couldn't leave her and run away. Ava left and went to Tony's casino, and on her way, she killed all the guards of Tony. And after that, she enters the casino and she kicks out all the people inside the casino. So Tony attacks her, and Ava let her hit her as she wants to feel pain. And while she's hitting her, Ava told her that she asked Michael to run away with her, but her sister is pregnant, and she couldn't believe that she could do this. And also, Ava asks her to beat her more and said to her, "So what you gonna do if you know that I have killed 41 people cold-heartedly without any consequences?" And the only reason she told her is that this secret will die with her. Suddenly, she turns her hands around her neck to kill her, but she decides to spare her. Then she gives her the money that Michael owed her. After that, she leaves and goes back to the hotel again. While she has a breakdown, she opens the fridge and takes out all the alcohol bottles, as she decided to drink again. She's still staying on the floor till the next day drinking, so she can move on from Duke's death and also Michael's rejection. And while she is drinking, she hears footsteps. so she stands up quickly to defend herself. And this person is Simon. And he came to kill her. And he started just shooting the gun towards her, but it didn't hit her. Then they started to run after each other, and after that, Ava threw the gun and attacked Simon. And they started to beat each other until he threw her on the table, but they both started to lose their energy. After that, Simon tells her that he's going to let her live because Duke loved her so much, but he told her that if he saw her in any place again, he would kill her. And then he left. Ava decided to follow him until they reached a bridge. He jumped from this bridge, and Ava went after him and shot him in the leg. Then he fell on the floor, and he begged her not to kill his family. So Ava told him that she was not going to hurt them, and said to him that this time she was not going to ask him what he did to let someone want to kill him, because she knows what he did, and she killed him after that. Ava goes to Jude and Michael's house and said to them to leave Boston and to take their mom with them, and she told them to go anywhere other than Europe or America. And Ava gives her a bank account number with $500,000, so she told her to spend as much as she wants, but she asked her to memorize the bank account number and after that to burn this paper. And she gives them the money that covers the traveling outside Boston, and she leaves after that. But Michael stopped her to give her a letter that came to her from Simon before he died. After that, Ava leaves, and at this moment, Simon's daughter was watching Ava. And that's where our movie ends. Don't forget to like and turn the notification button to get all the new videos, and make sure you watch till the end so you understand the story.